Welcome to this episode of Leadership Lens. Today with us we have Sudip Mazumder, Global Chief Digital and Information Officer at PGP Glass. Hi Sudip, how are you?
Hey, good, very good. Thank you, Anup.
So much for taking time out to join us for the Leadership Lens today. Really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Sudeep, we'll straight get into the discussion. Of course, the flavor being AI and Gen AI. We'd like to kind of get a bit of your perspective in terms of what strategies can CIOs adopt to, set realistic expectations about the capabilities of AI and ensure alignment with business objectives.
Thank you very much, Anu, for this question. Actually, because AI and Gen AI is obviously the the flavor of the time, especially the Gen AI. But I keep it simple and short here because AI needs to be understood a little bit from the business strategy and goals perspectives. First is, for as a CIO, I would say that as a CDIO, I'd say that absorb the business goals first. What is your business strategy and the goals, and the timeline, time horizon, 2 to 3 year horizon, let's say, and look at what are those functions underneath which are kind of AI worthy. Uh, we can put it in AI worthy interventions. There's a second part. Third part is the people part, readiness of the management. N minus one, N minus two. Try to understand that, assess that, whether they are ready. It can be done just through simple conversation with them, right? In a group or one to one. Fourth one is understand the general maturity of the users, because I may want to have a huge amount of AI, but for whom I'm doing it, if they don't understand, they don't appreciate, there's no point in doing it. So understand that capability, maturity.
Thanks, Sudip. So, is it fair to kind of say you're alluding to the fact that one should look at purpose-built AI as opposed to just looking at AI in isolation, and of course mapping it with the business needs, use cases, and of course there is also the part which is about readiness for delivery.
Absolutely so. If I don't deliver business value through AI, there is a intrinsic expectations of the management today, that from the IT or from the digital intervention, not too much of that. But the moment it is AI, people think that we will be delivering business value, tangible business value. So what we have done, I mean, I have done in the past as well, the deliver business value through AI and currently Gen AI. But remember the few things that we'll have to understand, that AI has got multiple flavors, right? One is advanced statistics, was advanced analytics we call, was a little bit of AI and then AI ML. Second part is a DL, deep learning part, which is more to do with CNN, right, neural network. And the third one is, which is a current wave, is a generative AI. The three are different flavors, different use cases, different way of valuing, different way of return investments. So it's not that I can talk about the AI and which will be applicable to all types of Gen AI, all types of functions. We'll have to choose our own battle as a CDIO and the CXO overall.
Yeah, Sudeep. Moving on, of course, we are in a digital world, and every technology today complements or is kind of becoming part of the digital journey. So, Sudeep, can you share an example of how cutting-edge digital technologies have solved deep business problems and created measurable impact in your experience?
Right. So I talk about here a particular, few particular cases that we have done in the, especially the manufacturing and EPC point of view in engineering, construction, and manufacturing both, which is process manufacturing as well as the discrete manufacturing. So first of all, I think what I have seen and I've got, and under my nose, these things were delivered, like in the manufacturing, defect reduction, like into 10 to 30% defects could be reduced using AI, right? From the baseline I'm talking about. Similarly, energy optimization. It can be done 3 to 5% that we have got, 2 to 5% actually we have got over a period of 2 to 3 years. Similarly, we've got asset utilization, large valuable assets. If you start looking at and monitor and AI driven monitoring, advanced analytics driven monitoring, you can actually increase the asset utilization by 7 to 20%. And these are all adding value, vetted by the financial community. And these things can be done through AI. Now, digital and AI, I think, is the two sides of the same coin. You get the data from the digital operations digitally, but ultimately you'll have to look at from the AI and numerical analytics point of view. How do you add value?
A lot of these programs that get kicked off, but it often lacks continuity and consistency across organizations. How can these challenges be addressed, largely around digital technology adoption, and why the continuity gets lacked going forward?
We need to understand this adoption is layered adoption. If we try to adopt the digital and AI everywhere consistently in all functions, in all types of users, I think we will be in utopia, right? The first of all, we'll have to choose again. How do we get there over a period of time? Don't expect that we'll be going there in 1 or 2 years. It'll take time because it's a changing of your behavior. Let's give an example. I'm doing a digital logbook with 800 plus physical logbooks are getting changed to digital logbook. Now, what are those logbooks today? There are physical papers, right? Input and the output is the same. And how long it has been there in the operation? 40 years. How many people are using it? 1200 plus people are using it, right? Now, if I am thinking that I'll be doing a digital intervention, doing a digital logbook, give it to them, and they'll start using it, and they will retire immediately. No, I'm sorry, it will not, because it's a 40 years of 1200 people's practices. Like, we have to have a little bit of patience on that, because it is not easy to change people on the day one. It'll be changing, but let's take a practical approach. How do we do that, right? So that's what I'm saying. So I'm talking about the manufacturing operations, right? Now, if you look at the sales and marketing, little different. If I look at, on the production side, on the raw materials and the procurement side, it's a little different. So I think we need to take again a layered approach. We need to look at what are the use cases, then look at whom we are targeting.
Thanks, Sudip. I think very brilliantly put. It's layered adoption at the end of the day, and yeah, absolutely right. So the ends are actually C-suite. Your colleagues, your stakeholders, and I think leadership plays a fairly large part in terms of how do you drive the culture, how you kind of get that layered adoption within the organization, right? So, Sudip, tell us in your view, how do leadership styles and people oriented strategies influence the success of digital initiatives in global organizations like yours?
Change is always difficult, whichever country you go to or which organization you go to. It depends on how old the organization is, how old the processes are, what kind of interventions done in the past, etc. Now, if I look at this leadership, how we can do, first of all, I think one of the most important things for the leadership is they need to be educated, they need to be coached, they need to be constantly talked about, what are the new technologies coming up, how it can benefit. I can assure you, or I know it very well, in all organizations that I have traversed as a customer or as a supplier, or as in my network, I see that there is a pocket who are absolutely brilliant in adopting it. There is another pocket which are absolutely not, the other side of the spectrum, and there are some in between. We'll have to look at again, how do we get through these positives to the nearly positives, to the negatives one. And we should not be spending too much of time on the negatives one, to be honest, because ultimately if we can do at the positive and the near positives and then go down, that will be far better in terms of us. ROI is not about money. ROI is on my effort as well, our effort as well. Leadership needs to understand personal value, personal judgment, and the organization judgments are different. I may not appreciate Gen AI, but remember that next gen, they are in it already, right? So you have to talk positive. You have to ask them to adopt, even if you don't do it. So you can't talk negative about Gen AI in front of your juniors, because that will be quite retrogressive step.
For people, technology will always be an enabler. So today, it's all about how you can enable AI or Gen AI tools for people to deliver more effectively, efficiently, and more productively, right? So thanks for that, Sudip. You also spoke about the future readiness. So before we let you go, finally, we'd like to know, as a leader, what recommendations would you give to organizations looking to embrace innovative technologies and prepare for the evolving landscape of AI in a digital economy in the next decade?
I think the first thing which I see that in many organizations is lack of innovations. And sometimes we feel that innovation in other department, not in mine. I think we need to have a cross-cultural, cross-functional innovation center of excellence. That's what I think every company needs. I'm not saying that they don't do innovation. Every company is doing innovation, but there is there is a lack of organized platform which will be doing these innovative ideas, getting the cross functions in, and getting pepped around it, discuss around it, and take a pipeline of these, let's say 10 to 20 innovative ideas, pipeline. 3 to 4 will be large, deep, cutting edge. Maybe 15 to 16 will be normal, which can be delivered in 3 to 4 months, right? And we have to continuously do this. I think, and digital is everywhere, no doubt about it. But what am I trying to do with digital? I'm trying to make a particular process or particular process plus system together a little bit more automated, better, digitally savvy. So I'm there everywhere. I mean, the digital is there everywhere. So I think that's the most important thing, the creative center of innovation, or innovation center of excellence, as I call it.
Thanks a lot, Sudip, for that. I think very, very valid points. I think there should be an ideation platform created in every organization, because at the end of the day, you see, when you see startups, it's all the young generation that is coming up with it. A lot of them have worked with corporates. So if you're able to create ideation platforms within organization, I think there's a lot of innovation that large organizations can garner, from these individuals. And absolutely, I think people need to be feel you need to feel valued. And at the end of the day, if you're valued, is when you'll be able to deliver and be one with the organization. But thanks a lot, Sudip, for your time. Thanks a lot for your insights. I thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, and I'm sure that our viewers and your peer CIOs, CDOs will equally enjoy listening from your experience and what you've shared over here. Thank you so much, Sudip.
Thank you very much, Anup. Thank you for being here, and always appreciate your effort in making our community enriched. Thank you.